So, the Olympic Games came to a close last night in Paris.
Thank God!
And after the blasphemy of an opening, threats of Islamic terrorism, the twerking, the OnlyFans, the
I'm shocked.
god-awful breakdancing. Oh, and did I forget to mention, two dudes who like to feel pretty winning gold in women's boxing.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. That is true.
The closing's got to be better, right?
Nope.
I'm Jazz Berganza on this. And just think, the next one's in LA. Joy. So what's next? What's up, everyone? Jazz Berganza. What's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Happy Monday. Of course, it's a new week, and I like to say new bullshit. Or same shenanigans, or pretty much same thing. So, finally, to quote The Rock, the Olympics are over. Last night was the closing ceremonies of the Paris Olympic Games. And after Americans, once again, we Americans dominated the scene, winning gold after gold after gold. See Simone Biles, see the Olympic relay team, see the incredible women swimmers. That's not what's going to be remembered for. And that's a sad thing. What's going to be remembered for is the blasphemy of an opening, threats of Islamic terrorism, one American twerking, one American has an OnlyFans account, the god-awful breakdancing out of Australia, and let us not forget those two wonderful dudes who like to feel pretty winning gold in women's boxing. The closing has to be better. Right? Jane, just think. The next one is LA. Joy. This coming from Breitbart. Paris closes Olympics and LA turns to Tom Cruise because, of course, they have to. France. Setting out to prove that topping Paris isn't Mission Impossible. LA rolled out a skydiving Tom Cruise, singer Billie Eilish, No One Cares, and other stars on Sunday that took over the Olympic hosting duties from the French capital, which closed out the 24 games just as they started with garbage. Capping 2.5 extraordinary weeks of Olympic sports and emotion, well, that's debatable. Paris' boisterous star-studded closing ceremony in France's National Stadium mixed unbridled celebration with a somber for peace, as IOC committee president Thomas Bach, yes, the same Thomas Bach who allowed two dudes who feel pretty to fight in women's boxing. Okay. Following in Paris' footsteps in the 28 promised to be a challenge, and it made spectacular use of a cityscape for their first games in 100 years, with the Eiffel Tower and other iconic moments becoming Olympic stars in their own right as they served as backdrops venues for medal-winning feats. But the City of Angels, City of Light, show that it too holds some aces. Cruise, his Ethan Hunt persona, wowed by descending on top of the stadium, his electric guitar, Mission Impossible riffs, once his feet were back on the ground, shook hands, took the Olympic flag from Simone Biles, threw it on a motorcycle, and got the hell out of their arena. Woo! Can you just feel the chills? The appetite wedding message is clear. LA 28 promised to be an eye-opener too. Oh, I'm sure it will be. Still, this was largely Paris' night. The opportunity for one final party, and what a party it was. Thousands of athletes danced and sang the night away to transmental themes. Reveling in the artistic show that celebrated Olympic themes and its firework flourishes, yes, pedoism was still the theme of the day. Even Bach got the party bug, jokingly called out the Paris Games sensational, a nod to Seine River, despite water quality concerns. Yes, we had a number of Olympians who got sick swimming in it, but who cares? It's the end of the Olympics. Marathon swimming, and Olympic triathlon and marathon swimming and the wacky and wonderful opening ceremony. Wacky and wonderful opening ceremony. Wow, talk about an understatement. And what will be his last games after announcing his intention to step down next year, Bach also made a somber appeal for a culture of peace in a war-torn world. Quote, we know what the Olympic Games cannot create. We know that the Olympic Games cannot create peace, but the Olympic Games can create a culture of peace that inspires the world, he said. Let us live the culture of peace every single day as we push transmental themes, gay themes, pedo themes down your kids' throats. Okay, Cruz then provided a change of gear. After being lowered at the top of the rope from the roof's giddy heights, Cruz drove his bike past the Eiffel Tower in a pre-recorded segment, because of course he did, onto a plane and skydived over the Hollywood Hills. 3 circles added to the O's famed Hollywood sign, creating 5 interlaced Olympic rings. In the stadium, the athletes enthused bubbled over the crowd as rushed at the stage at one point. Stadium announcements urged them to double back. Some stayed, creating an impromptu mosh pit around the Grammy Award-winning French pop band Phoenix. Never heard of them, don't care. As they played before security and volunteers entered the stage. Multiple French athletes crowd surfed. U.S. Team members jumped up and down in their Ralph Lauren jackets, because it's French and you gotta have Ralph Lauren. On the stadium's giant screens, Elish, Chili Peppers, rapper Snoop Dogg wearing pants with the Olympic rings became a popular feature of the Paris Games, and Dr. Dre kept the party going in a pre-recorded show from a California beach. Each is a California native, including her. Don't know who her is, but I'm sure she or it or they or whatever, who sang the U.S. national anthem live at the stage in France, crammed more than 70,000 people. The stadium crowd roared as French swimmer Léon Marchand, dressed in a suit and tie instead of swim trunks he wore to 4 golds, first collected Olympic flame from the Turlets Guards in Paris, reappearing later in the stadium. To spectators' chants of Léon, Léon, Marchand, and then blew out the flame. The Summer Games were over. Next stop, LA 2028. What do you say? What do you say about the Paris Olympics that hasn't been already said? The one great thing that came out of that Olympic Games was how America dominated. Basketball, swimming, gymnastics, track and field. Name the event, and we dominated at some point. Now, there were highlights of other athletes in other countries, no doubt. But sadly, as I said, when the opening kicked off, the blasphemic opening kicked off, is that sadly the Paris Olympic Games will only be known for this. So, as I said in the beginning, you had the hideous, demonic opening. You had twerking by American athletes. You had an OnlyFans account by one American athlete. You had hideous breakdancing by Australia. And yet you had, and I saw on Instagram that there were some people defending this person for making a fool out of herself in front of a world stage and calling it breakdancing. No, I called it spasms. But anyway, or convulsions, however you want to name it. And then the highlight, in my opinion, 2 dudes who like to feel pretty. 2 men in women's boxing, not only allowed to box, but to win gold and take away from real women. Once again, women's sports, do not give up. For all the Riley Gaines, for all the Martina Navratilova, for all the other women out there who are fighting to keep women's sports only for women, the Olympic Games says, you know what? We got 2 dudes. But then again, that's just me. So now we're off to LA. Off to LA. You know, California beaches, Tom Cruise, Snoop Dogg, shit on the streets in San Francisco, the homelessness, the drag queens, the pedoisms. I'm sorry. I thought we just left Paris. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is what's next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching as always. And we'll see you next time. Peace.